Today's video, I'm going to talk about the first 5 mods I would recommend from my personal experience to get on a Z31. So I have a 85 Z31 NA. Honestly, the first thing that I did when I got my Z was I ended up getting polyurethane bushings, just because all the bushings that I had on the Z were completely worn out, and every time I would drive the Z, it felt like I'd be driving a sponge or on a sponge. The car immediately felt firmer, it felt more responsive, and just that much more fun to drive. That would be my number one, straight out the bat. That's what I did. Number two, the second thing that I did when I got my Z31 was an air intake. And that one, you know, it's up to you guys, but I was a lot younger back then, and I thought air intakes were going to be a huge help, but honestly, the older I got, the wiser I got, and the more I realized, like, dude, I'm a NA VG30. The only real reason that I would need one is because I live in California, and sure enough, this past year, I ended up getting a state ref ticket, as I mentioned earlier in our previous video. And so I ended up getting a carb legal air intake. I bought it off of MSA, and no real difference, to be honest, aside from now I don't have to worry about cops. So that was the second thing I did. I got an air intake. So I mean, depending on where you live, you can get a carb legal air intake, right, if you live in California. If not, you can just buy any other one. The third thing I got for the Z was a set of KYB struts and Eibach lowering springs. If I would have known, to be honest, I would have probably gone with a set of coilovers, but you know, funds were limited back then, and so the easiest and most effective way to improve my suspension and handling was to go with a set of those lowering springs and upgraded or updated KYB struts. And honestly, I still have them on the Z, and they are awesome. Yeah, so I ended up getting a set of those, that combo, and yeah, I've tracked the Z, and in combo with the polyurethane bushings, they make this car feel brand new. So that would be my third recommendation. That's the third thing that I did. It was a big improvement. Fourth thing that I did to my Z, and it honestly came about just kind of a spur of the moment. A buddy of mine also had a Z31 at the time. He ended up winning a MSA exhaust from the Z store. They were doing some sort of car show, and they were raffling off some of these items at a discount. I believe it was a discount. I'm not sure. I can't remember now if he got it for free or it was a discount. Point is, he got the MSA exhaust that I currently have, and when he sold his Z, obviously I came up on it. I got it for a steal, and it was just like I said, that was the fourth thing that I did. It was kind of a spur of the moment upgrade, but it opened up the way that this thing sounds, right? A stock VG30 sounds really good. Sounds even better when it's turbo. I wouldn't know. If you can get an MSA exhaust or some upgraded exhaust for this platform, or this for the Z, I would highly recommend. It makes a big difference, just in terms of how you know how it sounds. And I don't know if I got any gains because it's cat bag, but it's still something that I did for the Z. Ahí está. Shit, you see. Como está thin, huh? Como no está grueso. Alright guys, I did something, and I'm not gonna say it. This is something that you guys are gonna have to watch in the video. If you've stayed this long watching the video, I appreciate you, and you just know what I did, and we'll just leave it at that, because I don't want to, you know, yeah, I hope you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, big difference right now. Highly yeah, recommend that fourth modification that I was talking about. Now the fifth and final one, honestly, what I would do and what I did was I ended up buying a Momo steering wheel. It felt like I was driving a semi-truck with the stock wheel, so I ended up getting a Momo steering wheel from, again, you probably guessed it, the Z store. This one is a lot smaller in diameter. It's a bit thicker at the, you know, at the wheel end, and so it's definitely a better experience when I'm driving the Z, and it's something that, you know, I would recommend as well. And that was the last thing, I think the fifth thing I did when I first got the Z, and it overall improved my experience just driving it and just having a better feel for the Z. Now, those are the first 5 things that I did when I got the Z31. I'll make another video of the next or other modifications that I made that improved the performance of the Z. Now, by performance, you know what I'm gonna, you know, probably say, right? Sway bars, big brake kit, just to name a few. Those are the things that I did, and I will make another video for those that are trying to kind of improve their performance for their Z31. I will say there's not a lot of things out there. There's a handful of companies that make Z31 parts or aftermarket parts, but there are a few, and I'll share those with you in the next video. Those are the first 5 things. Let me know if you guys think or agree, or maybe just name some of those modifications that you recommend for those first time Z31 owners. And if you guys made it this far, I appreciate, you know, all the support. Hit that like and subscribe button, it means a lot. Just growing the channel to where I think, you know, we can get. And so yeah, with that, and on that note, I'm gonna call it. So thanks guys, appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.